For a long time, humans were laughed at across the galaxy. They were seen as weak, slow, and too emotional to fight in real wars. Alien species pushed them around, took their lands, and never feared them until one day everything changed. Started with a message sent across alien channels: "We are not your prey anymore." That message came from a new human force, the human Marines. No one knew who they were or where they came from, but soon every alien empire would learn to fear them. The early days, human colonies were easy targets. Ships were destroyed, cities burned, and people lived in fear. But then something shifted. One colony, once under attack, suddenly fought back. Not with panic, but with perfect skill and deadly force. Aliens were shocked. This was not the weak human race. They had known something, or someone, had changed the game. The footage of that first battle still haunts many todays. The screen cuts to black. A voice echoes. No one knew where they came from, but they made one thing clear. Then comes the sound of an explosion. And silence. Who are the human Marines? And what made them so powerful? The truth is just beginning to unfold. The battle was over, but the mystery had just begun. The aliens were confused and scared. These humans didn't act like the ones they knew. They didn't panic. They didn't beg for mercy. They didn't run. They moved like machines, fought like legends, and never showed fear. One by one, alien soldiers fell not because they were weak, but because they were unprepared for this new kind of enemy across. The galaxy questions began to spread. Who are these humans? Where did they come from? Are they even human anymore? Reports reached the alien command. A small group of humans had turned the tide of war in minutes. No fear, no doubt, just action. One alien commander whispered before his ship exploded. They don't fight like prey. They hunt like gods. Back at the human base, preparations continued. The Marines were already getting ready for the next mission. But what were they really? And how far were they willing to go? The truth is darker than you think. The rumors were true. The human Marines were not. Like other soldiers, they were not just trained. They were built deep in a secret base on a forgotten moon. Humans were pushed beyond limits. No pain was too great, no test too hard. Only the strongest survived. They trained with fire in their lungs and ice in their veins. Some had machines inside them, metal bones, faster reflexes, eyes that could see in the dark. Others fought with nothing but willpower and rage. They learned to move without sound, strike without warning, and win without mercy. One alien prisoner once said, "They are not men. They are storms wearing armor." But even with all this power, something else made them unstoppably. It wasn't just strength or speed, it was belief. They believed in one thing above all: we do not fall, we do not break, we do not lose, and soon the galaxy would learn what that truly meant. Because the real war was just beginning. The aliens had bigger weapons, faster ships, smarter tactics, but none of it mattered. What made the human Marines unstoppable wasn't their armor, their speed, or even their guns. It was something deeper, something unseen. Fear, not fear of death, but fear of what the Marines brought with them: hope. For humans, terror. For enemies, alien soldiers began to break. Before they even saw them, some dropped their weapons when they heard the name, "Marines are coming." Others refused to fight on planets where a Marine once walked. Commanders tried to hide the truth, but the stories spread like fire. They don't sleep, they don't stop. One Marine can change the battle. If you face them, you will die. One captured alien general said just 3 words before he was taken away. I believe them. The galaxy was starting to understand. This wasn't just war anymore. This was fear and faith in one unstoppable force. And the worst part, the Marines were just getting started. Was a day the galaxy would never forget. One planet, 10,000 Marines. An entire alien armada. The aliens thought it would be easy. They outnumbered. The humans outgunned them, surrounded them on all sides. They were wrong. The battle began at dawn. Ships fell from the sky like burning stars. The ground shook with every blast. Marines moved like shadows through smoke and fire, striking where they were least expected. One Marine stood out, a leader known only as Rourke, calm, deadly, unshakably. As his team fought to hold a key position, he sent one message to every Marine on the battlefield: we do not fall, we do not break, we do not lose. And they didn't. Wave after wave of alien soldiers charged and were cut down. Fear spread among the enemy ranks. Some refused to move forward, others turned and ran. By nightfall, the impossible happened. The alien command surrendered. The Empire cracked. The war had turned. And for the first time in history, the galaxy saw what real power looked like. Not from machines or monsters, from human Marines. After the battle, One name echoed across the stars. Rourke, not just a soldier. Not just a leader, a symbol. Stories spread fast. Some said he was still alive, walking among the stars. Others believed he had become something more. A ghost in the war, appearing only when hope was lost. Lian children were told to sleep before his name was spoken. Soldiers whispered it before battle, hoping for luck. Some even carved his name into their ships for protection, if Rourke is near. Run, but humans saw him differently to them. He was proof that one person could change everything. That courage never dies, that heroes are made, not born. His final message to the enemy became legend. You thought we were weak, you thought we would fall, but here we stand, and here we fight. Then came silence. No one knows what happened to him after that day. Some say he walked into enemy space alone. Others say he's waiting, watching, ready to return when the galaxy needs him most. But one thing is certain. The legend of Rourke lives on, and the Marines carry his fire into every new battle. It started with one battle, one name, one victory. But what followed was something no one expected. Fernet, just fear of the human Marines. But terror across the galaxy. Alien leaders held secret meetings. They watched footage of battles where Marines fought like storms, fast, fierce, and fearless, and they saw the same thing every time. Their soldiers ransom dropped their weapons before a single shot was fired. Others refused to go near planets defended by Marines. The word spread like fire, don't face the Marines. One captured pilot said, I don't want to die for nothing. I've seen what they do. Human commanders began using this fear as a weapon before attacks. They sent messages ahead. The Marines are coming, and it worked. Planets surrendered without a fight. Ships fled into deep space. Bases were left empty. Alien generals tried to hide the truth, but it was real. They didn't fear humans anymore. They feared what they had become, man worst. Of all they knew, the Marines weren't done yet. While fear spread across the galaxy, something darker was forming in the silence. Revenge leaders from fallen empires met in secret. They were broken, humiliated, and angry, and they agreed on one thing: the human Marines must be destroyed. But how? They couldn't beat them in battle, not head-on, so they turned to something more dangerous. Lies, traps, and betrayal. A new enemy rose from the ashes. A hidden alien group known as the Vengeance Pact. They didn't want war, they wanted annihilation. Their plan was simple: send spies into human space, steal secrets from Marine bases, sabotage ships before they could fly, kill commanders, before they could lead. One by one, strange things began to happen. Marines went missing. Weapons failed at key moments. Secret missions were ruined before they started. Then came the message sent to every human world. You made us afraid, now we will make you suffer. And for the first time in years, someone had the Marines on the run. The attacks weren't just coming from outside. There was something worse. A traitor among them, one of their own, had turned. No one saw it coming. Not the commanders, not the Marines, but someone inside the base had been feeding secrets to the enemy ship, movements, mission plans, even the names of soldiers. Because of the betrayal, a Marine squad was ambushed on a distant moon. They never stood a chance. When the news reached headquarters, shock turned to rage. A full hunt began, not for aliens this time, but for a human who had sold his people out. They checked logs, watched videos, traced messages, and finally, they found the name Lieutenant Kale Voss. Once a decorated officer, now a ghost in the dark. Voss had sent everything to the Vengeance Pact, including the location of the next big Marine strike. If that mission went ahead as planned, it would end in massacre. Time was running out. The only hope: a small team of Marines with one order: find him, stop him, or we all fall. And somewhere in space, Voss was watching and smiling. The galaxy held its breath. The human Marines had faced war, fear, and betrayal. But this mission was different. This was the endgame. A single ship, the Iron Wrath, carried a small team of elite Marines deep into enemy space. Their target, the hidden fortress of the Vengeance Pact, where Lieutenant Kale Voss had made his final stand, and where the aliens planned to launch a weapon that could wipe out every human colony at once. The mission began under cover of darkness. No backup, no escape plan, just one chance to stop the war for good. Inside the fortress, battles broke out in silence. In shadows, Marines moved like ghosts, striking fast, vanishing before the enemy could react. Then came the final fight. Rourke, thought lost, reappeared like a ghost from the past. He faced Voss in the heart of the base. One last question passed between them: why betray your own? Voss whispered, because I believed we were wrong. Rourke said nothing, just raised his weapon then. Silence. The mission ended in Firaz. The fortress burned behind them, the Marines escaped just in time, and with it, the last hope of the alien warlords died. Back on Earth, the galaxy listened to the message sent across all channels. This is the end. We do not fall, we do not break, we do not lose. From that day forward, when someone says human Marines, even the strongest aliens tremble.